Hey, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are at the Unfiltered Experience, Friday nights every week, every week, Friday p.m., 5 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are here with a magnificent show today. And I'm Christopher Rausch, and this is my beautiful host,
Scott Goyette.
What's up, brother? How you doing this evening, this week?
Just an amazing week. I've been, that I've been saying for the last 3 days, I'm going to get my iPhone 12 activated again on Clubhouse, and I keep looking at the thing. It's scaring me. It's just scary. So tonight, after the show, I promise I'm going to get that activated for the third time this week, and I'm going to make that happen. I promise.
You have to, dude. Clubhouse is off the hook. Truth be told, I was just on there. I got in the room with Forbes Riley and Tony Rodriguez and a couple other people this morning about 8 o'clock when I got on the life cycle. And I was sitting there, and I usually jump into the room just to listen to the people they have in the room. And then Forbes made me a moderator, and then we were helping a bunch of people, and it just kept going on and on and on. And she was just like, "Oh, I'm going to end the room. I'm going to end the room." And then, like, in 4 hours, like, we've been going for 4 hours, and the people just kept coming in the room. They kept pouring their hearts. We kept pouring into them and helping them and really lifting them up. And then Tony had to go do something, and then Forbes had to go do something, and then so it was me and a couple other moderators, and then they had to go do something, and it was literally just me. It was me and a couple other people, and we just kept pouring into people, and I was juggling things and taking care of that. But man, I literally think I got like 60 people followed me today just based on that one room and that one conversation that we had. So you got to get there, man. It's crazy, the brilliance that are in these rooms and what they're pouring into people. It restores my faith in humanity. So let's get that.
I'm excited. No, I'm excited. I think the most beautiful thing from it is one of the things that I'm always looking to do is when I'm at the gym, I'm listening to podcasts or I'm listening to books, audiobooks. I think it'll be fun now because I can do fully interactive discussions while I'm on a stair climber or whatever. So I see this being this thing that, because I'm a big juggler. I love doing so many things at once. This could be, I'm going to be 50, be in the best shape of my life, have more wisdom than ever, have more beautiful connections. And like you said, together we can restore, the faith in humanity, which brings us up to somebody that we're going to talk to tonight that's going to be amazing. Chris, why don't you tell us a little about this gentleman?
Yeah. Before I talk about our awesome guest, I just want to throw a shout out to the person that put this together for us and introduced us to Jimmy. Patricia, thank you so much, Patricia Geigich. We love you, we appreciate you, we applaud you, we adore you for connecting us with Jimmy. Jimmy is just a fascinating, just a loving human being. Aside from what he's been through in his life, it's just a tremendous. So we encourage you guys, as always, please engage with us with your comments, engage with us with your questions, for myself, for Scott, for Jimmy, of course, please. This is an open conversation, and Jimmy is providing his time with us and sharing his story and his journey, because his ultimate goal is to raise awareness for what occurred with him, and being able to fight that injustice in every aspect of our lives. And that's something that Scott and I are very passionate about, as you know, with everything we did last year with Black Lives Matter and the protests and raising awareness and having those conversations. We want to continue having those conversations, so we're pleased to have Jimmy with us tonight. And we talked about it a little bit earlier this week, Scott, and, thinking about this, and we want you guys, hey, Larry, hey, Susan, hey, Teresa, thank you guys for being here. You guys are rock stars. We love you. But think about that, guys. And those of you in the audience right now, have you ever been wrongly accused, number one, of something, right? We've all been wrongly accused of something. But wrongly accused of one thing is something, then being convicted of being wrongly accused of something that you did not commit, could not have committed, and then ultimately paid, nearly your life in that price of that. That is just crazy. And that's who we have here today. We have Mr. Jimmy Dennis. Jimmy is an amazing soul. You guys are going to fall in love with him immediately. We are going to have a very open and raw and very unfiltered conversation with Jimmy, talking about his experience in spending nearly 25 plus years on death row for a murder he did not commit. Jimmy is an absolute amazing soul. I had the privilege of talking with him a couple of weeks ago over the phone, and just a beautiful heart. And he has such wisdom and such messages and such music that we're going to be talking about as well. Jimmy is a musician. He has beautiful music. We're going to be talking about the lyrics and the inspiration for those songs. So sit back, make sure you have something to drink, something to eat, something to write with. And we want to just welcome to the show, Mr. Jimmy Dennis. Jimmy, welcome to the Unfiltered Experience, brother. How are you doing tonight?
How you doing, Christopher? How you doing, Scott? I'm doing good, man. Pleasure to be here.
I love that smile. I love that smile. Man, it's beautiful. You look so alive. It's a beautiful thing to just see your bright face. I like it.
Hey, man, it's a beautiful thing to be alive. Every day is a good day. You know what I mean? Even through the turmoil, you gotta take a little positive out of a bad day, you know?
Absolutely.
With you.
And we just want to recognize. So this is so Jay's in the house. Jay's saying, "Hey, what's up, guys? What's up,
How
Jay?"
you doing, Jay?
Angel saying, "Hey, hey, hey."
What's going on, Angel?
Teresa saying,
Risa?
can't wait to hear this story. Yes, absolutely. Larry Schneider, rock stars. We call them, Jim. We call our family. We call them the Unfiltered crew, because
Okay.
we don't believe in having followers. We don't believe in having, all that other stuff. We're like, this is our crew. These are our people. And what we do here, Jimmy, is we just create a safe space for us to all just talk about what most people don't talk about. We talk about the rawness, the vulnerability, the pain, the despair, but also more importantly, what it is that we do to get out of those things. So we're just excited to have you here. And of course, Patricia here in the house. Patricia's the one that put the connection together. Thank you, Patricia. We love you.
Hey, Patricia, what's going on, Larry? Patricia, I see y'all.
Yes. We got Danielle in the house. What's up, Danielle? Thank you so much for being here. We got Emily Auckland. What's up, y'all? From Texas. Emily is an awesome soul. So, Jimmy, we're going to be surrounded by some beautiful people tonight, but without any further hesitation, let's just drop into this conversation and just tell a little bit about your story prior to the situation that happened that we're going to be, delving into. But tell us a little about Jimmy and what makes you so unique.
You want to talk about, when I, before all of this?
Yeah, before. Talk to us about who Jimmy was and Jimmy is.
Jimmy Dennis was a son, a brother, a friend. I was a father. I had a 3.5-year-old daughter, my oldest daughter. I had a child on the way that was born subsequently 1 week after I was stolen away. I was a singer, songwriter, musician. I had a group in Philadelphia by the name of Sensation with Mark Allen, James Newt Smith, and Willis Meredith. And at the time, we had interest from record executives, labels, so on and so forth. We were one of the hottest groups in Philadelphia, and we had a lot of interest. And for me, at the tender age of 21, if you would have met me back then, you would have said, this dude is happy-go-lucky. He's always positive. He knows where he's going in life. And you would have said, he's going to make it, right? And, the quote, the chairman of the board, Frank Sinatra, at that time, with everything going right in my life, I felt like I had the world on a string, and then suddenly life just took this dramatic shift, and the nightmare began.
Wow. What was it? Somebody Patricia says, are you recording? Is that for Jimmy recording? We're recording this, of course, but is Jimmy recording? Absolutely. Jimmy's recording. We're going to be hearing Jimmy's music. Absolutely.
Yeah. As soon as I leave here, I'm going right in the studio again. We got music out right now. Yeah.
And it's beautiful, beautiful music. So we're going to be sharing that with you. So, Jimmy, in that celebration of what your life was up until that point, what type of kid were you? I mean, as a young kid, what type of kid were you?
I love music. From the time I can remember, I was just a happy kid. I loved all my friends and family. Loved the neighborhood I grew up in, Abbotsford Project, North Philadelphia. The one thing about growing up in Abbotsford, North Philadelphia, it's the roughest part of the city, but it's the best part of the city too. And I wouldn't trade where I come from and where I grew up at for anything in the world, because the community of people up there are all good people, beautiful people. And I was just a happy kid, and I love music. And I would follow my dad around, because my dad was a musician. My aunt was a musician. So my lineage is in music. My dad played for a lot of famous people. My aunt played and sung on a lot of famous records for Chubby Checker, Bobby Rydell, Dee Dee Sharp, a Philadelphia International. My dad played with, was sitting with Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes and played for a number of churches, famous choirs, so on and so forth. So I would sit on the organ with my dad like I was his shadow when he was playing in church or doing a gig. I was right by his side, just soaking it all in, because this is what I wanted. And at some point in time, I started playing the drums one day after church, and everybody, rushed out, and they was like, get off the drum, get off the drum. And then somebody said, no, he's actually playing what the drummer tried to play. And from there, my dad just wanted to see what I was going to do, so he got me a drum set. And then I never looked back from there. Then it was a drum set, it was a piano, and then I got my own group. And childhood friend of mine, good friend of mine to this day, named Shannon Wright, entered me into a talent show. And then I never looked back. And that's when I started singing, yeah.
Damn, that is crazy. That is crazy. We got Darlene says, hey, I'm driving but listening. Jay says,
Hi,
girl,
Darlene.
great, know them
What up,
all.
Jay?
Absolutely. And then Craig says, bless you, Jimmy. Bless you, Jimmy.
Thank you,
Before we get into the deep part of it, had you been in any trouble as a kid up until the point we're going to be talking about? Had you been in problems with the law or in school or anything like that?
No. I never had a significant criminal history at all. If you go back and look, you'll see I never had a significant criminal history. I had never been locked up before. As if growing up in North Philly, you get stopped by the police, so on and so forth. So, I got stopped by the police before, and it's a bad police department in my neighborhood around, the 35th and the 39th district, and these were dirty cops. So at that point in time, a lot of us in the neighborhood have been stopped and arrested, but nothing serious to the point that would warrant anything for me to be a suspect or anything in any type of wrongdoing, whatever. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah. You can ask a question. Yeah.
No, you go ahead. I'm listening to him, and again, I grew up north of Boston, and so I'm hearing you loud and clear. Where, I don't want to go down this road and talk about this yet, but I feel you when you're saying there's different areas where there's different police who are reacting different ways, and some neighborhoods and whatever, you're concerned. Wait a minute, are they going to pull me over? And especially being a black male in some of those neighborhoods.
Yeah. Listen, if we ever want to move the needle forward in this country, we have to. Sorry about that. That's my dog.
He's excited. He's excited for the interview.
He's like, we got to move the needle forward. We got to move the needle forward.
Yeah. If we ever want to move the needle forward in this country, we have to have honest conversations about what goes on in different neighborhoods, especially Black and Latino neighborhoods in this country. And in my neighborhood, the very police stations that I just called out, the 35th and the 39th, have all been up under federal FBI investigations for these type of practices. And especially in my neighborhood of North Philadelphia, you go back and look, and they've been under federal investigation since the 90s for wrongdoing, fraudulent arrests, beatings, so on and so forth. So this is the type of environment I grew up in. So at an early age, I knew that me and my friends and everybody in my neighborhood was being treated differently.
And so I just want to say something with what you're saying right now. And I want everybody who listens to this now live and who listens to this after for the first time they're hearing, I want them to think about this. Everybody, and when I say everybody, I'm saying the masses in our country continue to say things like, oh, we're fine, we're progressed, it's getting better. But here's the point, all right? What does better mean? Okay, because you're saying that things were not fair for you, period. There's no better. It's either it's fair or it's not. That's it. There's no black and white, like we're doing better.
Right.
At some point, and this is something for Chris and I as white males to be doing, is to be calling out this stuff and saying, I'm done with it. Because you're my brother. I don't care if you're black, Hispanic, like we're all human beings. We're our brothers. So right now, whoever's listening, before you tell the rest of your story, I really want people to stop and think, let's be done with it. Like really done with it. So when you see something that you say, oh my God, that wasn't fair, whether it was race or whether it was just a dirty cop being dirty cop for money, regardless of race, whatever it is, we need to be done with it. Not moving forward, effing done with it. And I really mean that, because I'm sitting here and I know what you're about to say roughly. And I'm just processing, you know, that I get to see my daughter at 14. I get to see these things happening. And to even think that you might not have gotten that is just, and somebody could have said something or done something. Like I'm going to shut up right now, but I'm feeling it. And I'm thinking in my head, we have to stop cold. This isn't let's think about it and talk about it. Let's end this now, like right now, collectively.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely. I certainly agree with everything you just said. And unless we listen, I often tell people this when I be talking to people. If the three of us are in a car, right, and we see somebody getting robbed on the street, and we do nothing to help, we do nothing, we're complicit.
100%.
Yep.
We're complicit in that. And so what we often do, because from the time we were little, we grew up believing this narrative that the police can do no wrong, they are our friend. And so anytime we tell the truth about these police officers over here, the first thing everybody say is, oh, that's just some bad apples over there, so on and so forth, right? But what happens to a bad apple in an apple core? That one bad apple ruins the whole bunch, right?
100%.
So if we're having an honest conversation and we're being honest about every single thing that we seeing in this country, from innocent people coming home every single month, from the shootings, so on and so forth, you cannot rationalize in your mind and say that every single thing that you saw was fair and just, whether it's George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, myself, Michael Brown, Tamir Rice, so on and so forth, right? And I'm somebody who, I call it out no matter who it is, black, white, Latino, so on and so forth. I call it out. And that's how we all should be. So if so-and-so celebrity says something against this group of people to offend them, the Jewish community, I'm upset, right? Mm-hmm. And as opposed to when somebody says something disrespectful to black people, everybody should be upset as well. 100%. This is the only way that we can truly move the needle forward and have a real just society, to where we're all in society and we're progressing, instead of everybody trying to sweep everything up under the rug constantly.
And I want to keep that theme the whole time we're talking for this 2 hours, because whoever's listening, and if they drop it in every point, at any point, I want them to walk away from this willing to put their neck out and take a chance. You took a 25-year penalty in life from some BS, which we're about to talk about. And honestly, I mean, I was talking to Chris earlier, and I was talking about a silly incident where I was driving next to a car, and I was speeding, and I pulled behind that car, and I thought the cop was pulling me over. And guess what? I pulled over, and he pulled the car over. Guess what was the difference between me and that car? Black driver. And I'm going way faster. You know what I did? I kept going, and I kept saying, oh, I'm glad I didn't get it. And, you know, I'm glad I didn't get caught. But then I'm thinking about it the whole time. Could I have done something? What do I do now? Should I have stopped? Should I have said it was me? Like I'm not even sure what the right answer is there. I'm really not. But at some point, maybe we do stop. Maybe we do say, hey, hold on a second. Time out. This is bullshit. This was me. Or maybe we call the police station later and tell them what happened. Or maybe we go to a news station. But at some point, We all got to stick our necks out. It doesn't mean that, we've got to do something gigantic, but if every single one of us did something little and saw the change starting right now, not later, not we're almost there, right now, that's what it's going to take. And so if this message has to start here and go to other shows and whatever, we need to continue to say this and take action on it and do it.
Right.
Absolutely. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. We got Robert in the house. We got Colleen's in the house saying hello, beautiful people. Hey, again,
how you doing?
For those of you guys just joining us, we're here talking with Jimmy Dennis. We're going to be diving right into a story right now, but please, we ask that you share this just based on what you've heard alone from Scott, myself, and Jimmy so far. We've been doing this for 20 minutes already. We haven't even gotten into the nuggets. Please share this out if you feel that this is an important message for people to listen, to really listen and digest and become a part of the solution rather than just being a standby, a passerby. We definitely want to make sure that's happening. Jimmy, so talk to us about that morning, like the morning of when everything went down. How did the day start off with? Walk us through that day. Walk us through that process of up until the point where you were, where everything just shifted.
So you mean the point where they arrested me?
Yes. Where it all started.
Well, I was arrested on November 20th, about November 23rd, 1991. Oddly enough, every single thing that every person listening would say that an innocent person is supposed to do, I did. When I heard my name in any type kind of rumors of foolishness and ridiculousness, I went down to the police station. I asked them, did they want to speak to me? I signed in. To this day, they don't dispute it because we have the log where I signed in, asked them, did they want to speak to me? And they did not. I waited for hours and then I left. Me and my dad and my family left. And
what was the, I don't want to interrupt you, but what was the foolishness? Back up a little bit. Talk to us about what the foolishness was that led you to go to the police station.
So I heard rumors that the police was going around questioning people and that my name came up, so on and so forth, involved in the murder of a young lady for a pair of gold earrings. And as soon as I heard that, I said, well, this is ridiculous. Let me go down to the police station and see if they want to talk to me, because apparently they had said something to people I know or whatever. And then they got back to me, and then my family and I went down to the police station to see if they wanted to speak to me. A month later, they came and arrested me and stole my life away. And oddly enough, the night before, I was in church talking to music producers and a promoter and a record label. And I went to see this where the meeting was at, in the church basement, for a record label that was interested in signing me. And then I went upstairs and I enjoyed a concert. And that was my last night on the street. And then I went out with my childhood friend, Gwen Jackson, and Daryl Cooper and some other people, because we were celebrating what was about to happen with me and what was happening with my childhood friend, Gwen Jackson, who I'll talk about a little later on, because, but that was my last night on the street. And then I'm at my dad's apartment, and then the door is being basically broke down. They come in with guns. I'm going to use some language, so
you can.
Please excuse me.
Go for it.
Yeah, please excuse me, women, but they told me shut the fuck up. Guns were drawn all in my face. They wouldn't let me get dressed, and then they put me in a paddy wagon. They took me for a bumpy ride in the dark and back of the van. And that's what was going on. And then I got down to the police station and the nightmare began. Yeah.
So what were they trying to do in the police van? Were they just trying to just mess with you, or were they trying to get you to already admit, or they were just being assholes?
Oh, they was just being assholes. They rough you up a little bit, throw you in the dark van, and then you go for what they call the bumpy ride. You know what I mean? Where you handcuffed, but you're not sealed in to a chair or anything, and you can literally break your neck back there, whatever, in that paddy wagon. But that's exactly what happened. And then all that's a part of the, you know, to break you down stage of when they get you in the room, and then various police officers come in the room, and then they start saying the most awful things to you, and you're sitting there telling the truth, and they really don't want to hear it.
What were some of those awful things? And what did they tell you what you were being apprehended for? Did they tell you point blank you're being apprehended for the attempted or the murder of?
No, they didn't tell me that until I got down to the police station, and then that's when everything started. Yeah.
So I mean, so talk to us about that process. I mean, were you allowed? I mean, when you were told that you were being booked for murder, what was your immediate response? I mean, obviously I could assume, but walk us through that process of being like, what?
Well, I was shocked. I was shocked and not understanding and knowing the criminal justice system. Because I had never been locked up before. I figured, and I thought that once I told them the truth and answered all their questions, that they would let me go. I didn't have a lawyer because I didn't need a lawyer. I was telling the truth. And so when I was telling the truth, what they did was, these police officers who are corrupt, by the name of Santiago and Descripsky, we're saying names all night long.
Okay? Yeah, baby.
I want to be clear to the audience.
Love it.
I don't do no filtering and no watering down. I tell you names, and I want y'all to know who these people are that are corrupt and evil, because what they did to me, they did to 29 other people in Philadelphia. They just put me on death row, and all those other people had life. So I got the worst of it. But Santiago and Descripsky and other detectives went about hiding the truth. From the moment I started telling the truth, they went about hiding the truth. As soon as they started talking to me, and after they talked to me, they ran out within the city and started covering up the truth and burying and hiding the truth. And all this of it, and every single thing that I say to you tonight and to your audience, you already know this. It's just a click away on your phone and on your computer, where you can look up every single thing that I'm telling you about has already been proven by 2 federal courts and a well-respected judge by the name of the Honorable Judge Anita Brody in the highest court in Pennsylvania, which is the 3rd Circuit Court. All of this has already been proven, what they did to me.
Yes, I've actually went and looked at that research. It's absolutely mind-blowing. It's absolutely, it's gut-wrenching. It's not even mind-blowing. I mean, when Scott was talking about the emotions and just thinking about everything and thinking about your 3-year-old daughter and thinking about your future and everything else, what was the impact in your family? I mean, what was the immediate response? Because I know some of the particulars. What truth were they covering up? Because I happen to know that the suspect or the actual perpetrator didn't match your description. Is that true?
Right. So a lot of times when you see articles on me, they don't give you the full details. So I'm glad that we could talk about it. So the perpetrators were said to be 6 foot tall, 200 pounds, and dark skin complexion. Now, dark skin complexion, for your audience that have an idea, is Wesley Snipes, the famous actor, and Miles Davis, the trumpet player. That's what they mean when they say dark skin, black complexion. Look at me. Okay. All right. Now,
maybe you're caramel.
Right. At the time, I'm 5'4". Okay. I'm 5'4". At the time of the arrest, I weighed a diminutive 125 pounds. So how do you get that to this? I don't know. That's ridiculous. Now, keep in mind, they also said that the crime took place in a matter of seconds, 1 second, 3 seconds, so on and so forth, right? And I'm sitting here before you, and you could go back through my website, Instagram, Jimmy Dennis pages. You'll see how you'll see how small I was back in the day. I could put up a picture. Everybody would tell you I was 125 pounds. They actually weighed me. They actually took my height in the courtroom. So, you know, this is ridiculous. That alone, I should have never got arrested. Those facts alone.
It's absolutely incredible. It's so, you know, we've heard this, and I mean, I'm sure everybody's seen a Netflix show or read a book about somebody who's been wrongfully convicted. And I'm sure many people, you know, who are going to watch this is the first time where they're really listening to this live interaction like this too. The thing that just drives me absolutely crazy is America's addiction for instant. And that's what I think this comes to, is everybody just wants to blame somebody for something. Like, nobody wants to have accountability. And so those cops are sitting there, and you hear this, and this isn't every cop, and you know this, and I do too, but cops have to call out cops. If you've got a cop who's literally just trying to fill quotas or close out cases, I mean, you know, the Central Park Five, we saw the exact same thing where somebody's just trying to close out a case. It's unreal. It's literally like, I can't even fathom the disgusting nature of that. I can see lying. I can see a person lying to get ahead in sales. Okay, somebody loses a nickel. I can see human nature doing that. But I honestly can't look in my own heart and fathom doing something to hurt somebody to that level to justify a promotion, or to shut up somebody who's saying we need to find this person, just to shut the person up, because nobody wins.
Right. Nobody wins. And what happened here is literally you destroyed 2 families, because the young lady family was destroyed, and you compound that with lying about who the actual perpetrator was, so on and so forth, and they didn't do their job, and now you still have 3 perpetrators running wild in the city of Philadelphia, because these police officers were dealing with a high-profile case, and they did not want to do their job. And this wasn't the first time that this happened. Like I said, y'all, your audience and y'all can look up a man by the name of Anthony Wright. Anthony Wright had these same police detectives, Santiago and Jastrzemski, just like I did. He came home in 2016 when DNA evidence exonerated him, but they planted evidence, lied, beating, tortured him, so on and so forth. And you look it up, 2019, he won a civil lawsuit for $9.85 million, right? I could go on. William Diaz is another innocent man that came home. Chester Hoffman, same corrupt district attorney as I had Roger King, some of the same police officers. He just won a settlement with the city for $9.8 million. I could go on and on all night long, giving you name after name, story after story. In fact, the Chester Hoffman case is on Netflix, The Innocent Files, right now, and they mention me in that episode, and they show you all the corruption and how Roger King was, and they talk about me within that episode of The Innocent Files about Chester Hoffman. And these are corrupt men who their families and friends should be ashamed of them, and the city of Philadelphia should be ashamed of them as well. But in so many different regards, you'll find out that they're fine. They probably collecting a pension and, you know, and everything else, and the city is left dealing with the mess that they made. And oftentimes in these situations, literally, life goes on. It's just, all right, bye. So what? That's what needs to stop in this country, in every city. When corrupt police officers and district attorneys lock innocent people up and violate people's constitutional rights, the citizens, all of us as citizens, need to say enough is enough. They need to go to prison. We need to pass law and legislation for these police officers and district attorneys to go to prison. Period. That's the only way. That's the only way you're not going to have another Jimmy Dennis coming out where my family is literally destroyed. Listen, when my dad found out that they were taking me to trial, he had a stroke. He had a stroke. My dad was never the same from that. I could go on and on about the wake and the devastation of what these police officers and this district attorney, Roger King, and these police officers, Santiago and Jastrzemski, done to my family. And I'm still dealing with the ripple effects in terms of the mental illness that has been from me being in prison, what has happened to my daughters and other family members. We haven't even scratched the surface. And I don't even really talk about it, because if you really knew the last 2 weeks that I had, you'll be like, I don't even know why you doing this interview right now, because it's been that bad. But I am a person that I stand up and I fight through it with positivity and love and faith. And I know that tomorrow always holds promise of a new day.
Amen, brother. Amen. Thank you for sharing that. A couple of questions come to deep into mind. A lot of questions come deep into mind. So I'm just going to get into it. I was going to ask this question later. What became of the officers? The officers that you mentioned, Jastrzemski and the other one I totally forgot. Has anything happened to them? Were they penal? I mean, once upon their innocence was proven, has anything happened? Are they still police officers? I mean,
no, they from my understanding, they both retired. And I think last my lawyer said one of them was working for the attorney general or something like that in some form of capacity. So you see the level of you see it is what it is, man. Listen, if I sit here and tell y'all that 30 people have had problems, listen, go look up Anthony Wright lawsuit. Go look up Jimmy Dennis lawsuit and read the first lines of it, where it talks about everything that these police officers and this district attorney done. And you'll see case by case. And nothing has happened. That's the problem. They're not in jail. They still have their pensions. They're fine, right? And, I'm still in court trying to get some form of vindication and justice for me and my family. When in truth, all I want is apology, a public apology that I'll never get.
So what about one step past that? What about a public apology that actually brings about a movement to get those who are complicit to realize their power of silence or their power of voice? Because all I'm sitting here hearing is I'm hearing Martin Luther King. I'm hearing all these thought leaders and these leaders and spirit leaders who always knew this, always knew that the power isn't the evil. The power is those who say nothing. And that's always been the case. So I mean, I'm going to say this a million times, but I want people to be listening to you loud and clear and feeling what you're saying. You're literally saying the last 2 weeks, you're just losing your shit. You're thinking like, what am I supposed to even do? And I have no clue what I would be thinking if I was you right now. I mean, I can't even fathom it. I mean, when you said that, of course, I saw my own father, and I'm going, what if he had a stroke because of this person? I would want to rip those people's throats out. The fact that my daughter can't see me, I would want to rip those people's throats out. And I'm sitting here like, what do we do? Like, at some point, I don't know if it's your story. I don't know if it's one of the other gentlemen that you mentioned. I don't know who it's going to be, but these things they need to keep being said. And that complicit group, I mean, I want to parallel something real quick for you. There was a woman who went to the Capitol, to rush the Capitol, on a private effing jet from Dallas, Texas.
Yep.
She goes in there, she comes in, she's showing pictures with smashed windows and all proud of herself on an effing private jet. And she goes home and says, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. And she's got all the money in the world to get away with that bullshit. Like, you want to talk about, I can't, I'm imagining what's going on in your head right now, going, what the F is wrong with this world? I just want you to know this. There's a lot more me and Chris's out there that are opening our mouths, and I'm tired of the complicit mass. So you can go check for authenticity on my Facebook or my social media, and I have not changed a damn bit. I've been saying this shit since day one, pissing people off, because I've got a program called Go Love Now, and they're like, oh, it doesn't sound like you love. It sounds like you're mad at everybody. No. I'm asking for accountability. I'm mad at nobody. I love it. I'm like you, dude. I want to give you the biggest hug right now. Go have a beer and be like, what's wrong with this world? What are we doing to fix it? I don't give a shit what color you are, whatever. Let's all be together. What I don't like is lack of accountability, going on a private jet to rush a Capitol while you sit in prison. That is insane to me.
I mean, for me, I understand exactly what you're saying, but for me, I look at everything and try to find a positive in everything. My suffering has actually helped other innocent people come home all over the country. And so that's something that my lawyers and I are proud of, because with the legal decisions was so much of a precedent setting in this country in terms of law, that they actually help other innocent people come home now. And I get calls from all over the country of other innocent people calling me, telling me thank you. So while I wish I didn't suffer, sometimes God wants somebody to walk through the fire to help other people. And as far as those police officers and district attorney go, I look at things like this in terms of everything that was stolen away from me, my music career, seeing my little daughter's first day of kindergarten and taking them to school and being there for their prom and all. I literally had to watch my daughters grow up in pictures, and they had a tremendous hard life. To whereas, like I said, we're still dealing with the ripple effects even now as I speak. Am I bitter? Yes, but I use my bitterness to help get other innocent people out of jail. I use my bitterness to try to go to Harrisburg in Pennsylvania to get the death penalty abolished, because it's not a deterrent. I use my bitterness to try to pass law and legislation to get police officers locked up and prosecutors locked up to go to jail. And if everybody gets behind that, then that's justice, that's right, that's fair. That's where I wanted to be at. I had a picture of Bob Marley and Dr. King and Paul Robeson up in the cell on the TV. And these are people who did everything in the spirit of love. And that's how I'm coming too, in the spirit of love. But I'm going to tell the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. I'm not going to water it down. I'm not going to, you're going to get the uncut, no chaser. You know what I mean? And yes, I just want the people who did wrong to me and everybody else in this country in prison. I want the police officers that killed Breonna Taylor to be in prison. George Floyd. in prison. Yeah, I mean, Michael Brown in prison. You know, the police officer that killed Tamir Rice should not be working in another police district right now after he came from Florida, killed the young man, then in Ohio, and now he's in another police district. Well, I mean, you know, if we could get police officers to go through a mental evaluation every year, that would be good. Other jobs do it.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get to that point? So I'm about trying to get to real solutions to make our lives better as a whole in this society, so we can all have a fair and just society. You know what I mean? Now, you know, you always going to have emotions, you know, bottled up, but that really doesn't do anything, and it really doesn't solve anything. So, like I said, I do everything, Scott, in the spirit of love and just trying to educate people on the wrong that has happened to me and others. And if I get one person to rethink something that they thought about, then, you know, we on the right track.
Dude, I hear you, and I love the way you reframed it.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, you've done it. You've done it flawlessly, and that's really the only way to go, because you can sit in your emotions and be miserable for the rest of your life, or angry or sad or whatever emotion you sit in. But you're using exactly what Chris and I preach about, is you're using those as stepping stones, or you're using them as catalysts to move you on. And so I hear it. You know, I'm sure there's a moment that one of those emotions is owning you for a minute, and then you take that and you say, nope, I'm stepping on this and I'm going even higher in service to make sure this stuff doesn't happen again. And it's beautiful to hear you say that, because I mean, I can't even imagine how difficult that must be. Because I know with my own stuff that feels much more minuscule, I struggle. I mean, I know everyone listening to this has something they're struggling with that they let take ownership of them. And the fact that you're using that as, you know, a pillar to jump from instead of get stuck down with, that's beautiful. Thank you for that.
Oh man, thank you for saying that, Scott. I can actually tell you that, you know, one thing that I understand, you know, about life is being on death row, having your life stolen away, and fighting for your life. You have a deep appreciation of everything surrounding you, of everybody, being mindful of everybody's feelings, and so on and so forth. And we all going to have moments where we're upset, we're emotional about things that is hurting us, that has hurt us. But if we can just take a deep breath and say, all right, listen, this is what happened. Listen, the easiest thing in the world would have been for me to come home and grab a bottle and then drink myself to death, right? Or something like that, right? The life expectancy of all exonerees is 5 years. I'm telling you right now, that's not going to be me, right? I'm going to outlive that longer, right? Now, the reason why that is because of depression, you know what I mean? You know, people fall into different traps, right? And it's understandable, because what we go through in prison is totally mind-blowing. Listen, prison for me, being on death row, is like every day, every hour, somebody had a gun to my head playing Russian roulette. That's what death row prison was like for me every single day, every single hour. Death loomed over me, right? No matter what. And what I wanted to do when I came home was, even though I'm suffering from PTSD, even though I'm suffering from panic and anxiety attacks and going through everything I'm going through, dealing with the ups and downs of family crises and stuff like that. And listen, man, the very day that you and I talk, right? I can even tell you that I'm in pain right now because I'm actually in pain right now, right? And I'm gonna be completely honest with you. The same day that me and you had that beautiful conversation, Chris, I was in a 5-car pile-up accident later on that night by a drunk driver. This is the first time I ever told anybody this outside of my immediate family. Drunk driver hit me and my childhood sweetheart and my grandson. And my back is killing me right now, my knee, and I have other ailments. And I'm going to therapy 3 times a week now, right? But I'm going to tell you something. I walked away. I was able to get out that car. Imagine how many times all of us have seen that somebody hasn't got out of that car. So what I'm telling you right now is I'm thankful, I'm grateful, I'm appreciative of this life that God has given me, and I'm using it to do what? To advocate for the innocent, to try to change things for the better, and to try to create music that touch and resonates with people's soul, right? And I could sit here and be like, and I could have called you and said, oh, my back is killing me, Chris. I'm not, that's why I keep moving, all right? You know, because I'm uncomfortable. But I could have called you and said, can't do it. No. Gave you my word that I was going to do it. I want to give a message to people that no matter what our dream is, and no matter what's going on in life, we should chase after our dreams with reckless abandonment. Don't let nobody, family, friends, or naysayers tell you you can't accomplish something, because you can.
Yes.
You can. And I can tell you, I wanted to change the narrative when I came home, right? I wanted to move the needle, change the narrative, and restore my family name back. And that's what I'm doing. And that's what I've done. When you look up Jimmy Dennis, it doesn't say convict or whatever. It says R&B singer, right? So I've transformed that in a matter of, you know, a lot of people didn't understand what I was doing. Well, why am I making this type of music? Why am I doing this? Why am I not chasing this, doing this, that, and third, right? But I know the plan that God has put before me to do, and what I feel like he want me to do, and what my dream is, and I'm chasing after it with reckless abandonment.
Hell yeah, we're gonna be getting into that music in just a little bit. I want to take an opportunity here just to check in with our wonderful audience. Thank you guys for being here. Let's see what we got here. We got Marlene Sanchez. It is a licensed lynching process. So sorry, no words. Thank you for being here, Marlene. She says thank you for telling your story here. Absolutely. Colleen's in the house.
Thank you,
Our friend
Marlene.
Colleen. She's saying pure evil. We've got Esme Lawrence. What's up, Esme? I just met Esme on Clubhouse. Good to see you. She goes, I am so sorry this happened to you. Thank you for being here, Esme. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Tom Jin's in the house. He says, hello, gentlemen. Hello. So sorry. Heartbreaking. Amen. Yep. Faith is everything. Absolutely. Faith is everything. This beautiful person in my life, my wife says it's terrifying that these cops and the DA have this kind of news to destroy people's lives like this. It's horrifying. I'm so sorry this happened to you. Absolutely. Thank you, babe. I appreciate that. She goes, the power of what the fuck autocorrect.
Yeah, she said moose. You said noose. You got what was right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I gotta get glasses.
You said noose. Yeah, we knew what she meant.
Oh, I said noose. Okay,
yeah, you said it right. You read it right.
This makes me so upset, Daniel. Thank you for being here. We got even more. We got so many comments here, so we just take a break here. Teresa Adams says hi, Christopher Rausch. Darlene says say it, bro. Say it, bro. Colleen says thank you for sharing your amazing story. And we're not even done. Yes, there's so many people here that want to share and want to engage. So again, Guys, we're sitting here talking with Jimmy Dennis, who spent over 25 years on death row for a murder he did not commit. We're talking about the unfiltered aspect of that, what he went through, what his family went through. So again, we appreciate your engagement. We appreciate your questions and your involvement in this. And also, my next question for you, Jimmy, is what can we do? What can Joe Public do in the grand scheme of things? Because I know that you had who did you have? I forgot their names that came to your defense. Arnold and Peter. I know that those names.
Arnold and Porter.
Porter.
A beautiful law firm, and just let me say that the lawyers from that law firm, Kitty Behan, Amy Rowe, who's like a sister to me, Ryan Giles, who's brother to me, and Megan, Martin, and Rebecca Gordon, and Emily, and Melanie Gavsett, and James Cooper. They're all like family to me. We all are very close, and they became family to me in the 21 years. It was a very unusual situation, because I just want to tell you that when they took the case, they were looking for somebody innocent to represent, and the timing just was perfect, and they chose me. And I was so grateful that they did, and they fought like hell for me, man. And because up until that time, every single appeal was just totally dishonest. It was I used to get letters from law professors all over the country, and they would just be like, your legal opinion was intellectually dishonest, because people knew I was innocent all along. And when they came to the state, they just did a wonderful job. And as far as what could be done now is there's a lot of things going on with me, but there are individuals that I'm trying to help who are in prison right now, such as Ralph Stokes and Abdul Hardy. And people could get involved with them and try to help bring those men home and speak out about their innocence, even something as simple as writing a letter. And just as far as helping me sharing my story, educating people, those are things that people could do for me. Me and you and Scott could talk later, and then you could share the links to Ralph Stokes and Abdul Hardy's address and their information, so people could write them and try to get involved to put positive pressure on the city of Philadelphia to release these innocent men, and to do right by them, and so on and so forth. So those are some of the things that people could do to get involved in any city that you in listening. Pay attention who's the DA. Pay attention to the city council races and the local races, because all that plays a part in who the judges is. Pay attention to who are the judges are getting on the court and what their politics is. And even when we come up to our nationwide elections, you got to pay attention to the politics and the political landscape, because it all plays a part in whether an innocent person will get justice or not. Whether an innocent person will die.
So I want to sit right there, because like you just said something that's massively crucial, and we saw it for the first time. We saw Stacey Abrams in Georgia, and we saw her go out and create a program of canvassing. She was going door to door with people saying, you have the power to vote, use it. And there, a lot of this was explained that, the individual power that you've been told you're powerless, especially with Black voters in Georgia, which can become nationwide. I mean, the power, the awakening of the collective to realize their individual power, not just the power of the vote, but the power of the ability for you to go out and research the candidate. Don't pick R, don't pick D. Who is this person? Like, who is that person? Because a lot of us will just, flick our vote for president or for governor or whatever, and that's all we know. We don't even know half the things that are coming up on the ballot, who it affects. And so to your point, one of the things, I've got a few Facebook friends who are judges, and I know their politics, and they're good people. but I know they're the anomaly in many ways in Texas. And so, to your point, one of the great things that just happened in our country, the great things is we saw a lot of friction, a lot of animosity, a lot of craziness, but a lot of people woke up and are realizing their power. So let's keep talking about some of the things that we can do. So first and foremost, let's talk, about how we can get some of those folks who are in prison out. Let's be more informed about judges, our vote mattering. What steps can we take to no longer be complicit? If it's something like seeing somebody get pulled over, let's come to a consensus. What can we do? Because someone's listening to that saying, okay, I saw, the white guy not get pulled over, the black guy pulled over. What do we do? Do we donate $50 to an organization that can make sure that doesn't happen again? Do we call the police? Do we go back? Let's come up with some stuff. Let's come up with action items so that none of this stuff happens again. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. What I tell my friends, I want to say that I was very honored to have people reach out to me to speak to potential voters and people working with Stacey Abrams and for other candidates during this last election. I did several speaking engagements, encouraging people to keep up the good fight and try to play my part. I tell my friends all the time about the importance of voting, because what you have to understand is every single person that you will elect president and you vote for, that president will in turn appoint over 100 and some odd judges to all the federal courts. So the only reason that I'm talking to you is I got lucky and the right judges were appointed to those courts. But when you elect the wrong person, they're going to appoint judges that don't care about truth, right, or wrong. They're going to appoint judges that aren't going to follow the Constitution. That's going to make up their own rules and and so on and so forth. And I experienced that side of it too. And so who you vote for and understanding and knowing their politics from a local level to the national level is very, very important, and it's crucial. And it literally matters. It means the life of an innocent person, because you cannot even minimize that even a little bit. That is not a minute thing. It is actually one of the most important things we can do is educate ourselves, not listen to the news media, right? Don't get caught up listening to whoever you listen to, right? Okay? And if you do listen to the news media, take everybody in and then scrutinize what you see and what you hear, right? And then you decide, but study it. Read what their politics is so you can know, and then make a good conscious decision and then go from there. Yeah.
That's a great point. We just had some people asking some questions. Yes, the truth will prevail. So true. Vote, do the research, vote for character. Kellen, what's up, Kellen? Another brilliant individual I met on Clubhouse recently. Thank you for being here. She says, I can't even imagine something like this happening. It scares me to know that this is even a possibility. Will you please provide a link or something to help us help you and others? So definitely we're going to be doing that. Yes, get out and vote, of course. And Kellen says, a very intelligent question. Where is the best source to get unbiased information on the officials we will be electing? That is such a great question, because in this day of age, for me personally, when I think about everything else, I'm like, how do I know what's true and what's not true? Because everybody's going to spin it in a certain way. Are there places, Jimmy, where we can actually find unbiased, truthful facts about the people we're electing into various offices?
This is what I'm not going to do, right? I'm not going to co-sign one particular entity or the other, right? And I don't know. For me, I'll listen to everybody. I'm on CNN. I'm on MSNBC, NBC. I go past Fox. I shouldn't. what I do, right? Okay. And then I do a lot of reading and research on the internet from different publications, you know what I mean, all over the country. And I read but I also watch C-SPAN, C-SPAN 1 and C-SPAN 2. You can learn a lot from watching C-SPAN 1 and C-SPAN 2 when you see people actually on the floor of the House and the Senate voting on legislation. And listen, you can read the different bills coming down the pipe on the internet, by going on, the government websites and reading the different and I do all of that, you know what I mean, to form my opinions on a lot of different things.
That's good. That's I want to capture this comment from Jay. He says, Mr. Dennis, this is so upsetting. You dealt with such discombobulation in the politics of our today world. Well, that's another show altogether. How does it feel to be free and spread the love? I ask this because of the animosity you must feel. And that's a great point, Jay, because one of my questions to you is going to be, and this is something Scott and I are very, very passionate about in our coaching programs and the things we do just in natural life, is forgiveness. Forgiveness and empathy. Talk to us, because when I had that conversation with you, I did not know what to expect. We had traded a couple of messages on Instagram, and then we had that conversation. And as soon as I heard your voice, I'm like, wow, this soul spent 25 years of his life behind bars I just want to cry, literally. I'm not being honest. And thinking about that, how has empathy and forgiveness played into your life in being able to heal yourself and also for your family to heal? So I think that's a great point, Jay.
Thanks for the question, Jay. And I appreciate it. For me, I want you to understand what I went through in prison.
Talk to us about a day in prison. You talked to us a little bit about that.
I want to hear that because this is a story of the humans. I was going to say this is like, I want to hear about that because here's the deal. Like, everybody watches their crime shows, everybody watches their shows, and we've watched the Central Park 5 and they're explaining their situations. But I know this. I know that when I'm like in timeout or something as a kid, or I'm punished for a week, I'm losing my mind. And I know that that's so finite. I know that the end is in sight and I'm going crazy. And so what does the human spirit do? Like you said, it's like Russian roulette, every hour, like, how do you come to center? How do you ground yourself? Never mind these yoga techniques or breathing techniques or religion or whatever you chose. Man, I mean, I don't care what you choose. What do you do? What are you going through?
Mm-hmm. So for me, you have to understand that my journey is unlike anybody else's journey, right? I had the guards trying to kill me and the prisoners trying to kill me in Philadelphia because it was a high profile case. So I have teeth in my mouth that have been knocked out. I lost 30% of my hearing for being jumped in prison. I had to defend myself. So my head was always on a swivel, right? Every day that I was in prison, my head was on a swivel, period, right? So every single prison I was in, this is what I went through with the guards and prisoners. So outside of trying to prove my innocence, I have to defend myself and keep myself to be able to be here. A lot of scars, a lot of bruises. So dealing with that takes emotional toll on you. Dealing with your family, going through the ups and downs that they dealing with, and your dad being sick and your mom being sick, that's a whole nother animal. Then once you are on death row and you still dealing with all that, and I was dealing with that for almost the entirety of my bid until people, started to realize this dude is innocent, and then it quieted down. But you're still dealing with people still don't like you, people still have opinion of you, and you're in a box. So imagine being in a small bathroom and not being able to leave when you want, and then a light staying on 24 hours a day. Well, that's sleep deprivation. that messes with your mental, that messes with your eyes, that messes with everything, right? And so you have to deal with racist guards, prejudice guards. You have to deal with prisoners that have multiple personalities. You got to deal with serial killers over here, so on and so forth. And you got to deal with a bunch of craziness constantly. Sometimes you can know what type of day it was just by knowing what guards were working that day or how this person felt. And people killed themselves in those circumstances because it's inhumane for a human being to be locked down 24 hours a day and then only probably get 2 hours of leisure, and you walk right into what I would say a dog kennel, right? Which is another cage. If you go to the library, you go to another cage. You have a phone call for 10 minutes. Then you got to go on a hunger strike or fight just to get extra 5-minute phone call for maybe twice a month. And then right before I left, you get 3 phone calls a month 3 phone calls a week for 15 minutes. I cannot talk to my mother and my daughters for 15 minutes and trying to be the best father I could be. And you got Ray trying to raise 2 little girls from death row, but I did the best I could. Right? Then you go to the shower Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you can remember what a phone booth was with this shower, you can't even turn around in it, and you locked into it. You're locked into it, and you got 10 minutes. And the trays are filthy. The trays are literally filthy with racial epithets and prejudice stuff against people on death row and just a lot of hate speech whatsoever. And permanent marker and ink, and then you're looking at the breakfast meal on the night tray because the trays ain't clean, and they won't give you plastic inserts, and the prison is dirty. This was my world for 25.5 years in every single prison, and how I got through it is with faith and prayer. Listen, from the very moments that I was stolen away, I started writing organizations and people to help me. Anybody that I thought, NAACP, whoever, I wrote everybody. I wrote the Reverend James McCloskey from Centurion Ministries was the first letter I wrote. And then I realized that I was told that this guy had a long waiting list. I couldn't wait because by the time he get to me, I don't know if I'm going to be alive or dead or not. So at any rate, I went on the internet. I knew I had to do something. Excuse me for a minute. And everybody on the internet, when the internet came about around 1998, they had these pen pal websites. I ain't want no pen pals. I ain't care about no pen pals. I needed help. So instead of going up there, doing that, I wrote about my innocence, and immediately people responded from all over the world. I met 2 beautiful souls by the name of Tracy and Dave Parkinson from Canada. They in turn wrote me a letter, and then I sent them back a 26, 28-page letter that they still have to this day about my innocence. I sent them all the documents because I never wanted anybody to take my word on face value. Read the documentation, and then you will come away and walk away with the same conclusion. James A. Dennis was wrongfully convicted, period. And so once they got everything, it just grew. Germany, Netherlands, Australia, Chicago, New York, Philly, da-da-da-da. And I had these songs play in my head every day from the moment I was stolen away.
The playlist. Let's talk about that playlist. I still have it written down, brother. I absolutely love it. Let's get into that.
And so from the moment they put me in a cell, everybody was trying to kill me from the moment I was in the receiving room. And then at one point in time, I remember that same week they tried to light the cell on fire and kill me. And I remember after that, yeah. After that, they had put me in another cell, and I remember breaking down and crying, and then these songs started playing in my head. The Wine is Trusting God, Christopher Cross Selling, Bruce Springsteen, Glory Days, Stevie Wonder, If It's Magic, Whitney Houston, Where Do Broken Heart Go, and Fleetwood Mac, Why Does It Hurt So Bad? John Coltrane was the second song, Dear Lord, by John Coltrane. And those songs, if you listen to them in a proper order, they'll tell you exactly what I was going through. So at that moment, after those songs were playing in my mind, I would look out the window, looking over Gates. I would see the sun coming up. I would start working on the Justice for Jimmy campaign, and I would work on law, and I would stand up straight. And it's going to be whatever it's going to be, because the one thing that I was committed to is proving my innocence, and wasn't nobody going to kill me in it. Nobody going to lay me down up in it. So it's on. However it's coming, it's coming.
It's coming.
And mentally, I prepared myself for that journey. I prepared my body for that journey. I worked out. I was ripped, 8-pack, all that. And my mind was focused on the law, period. And that's what I did.
So
and it wasn't until, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so you basically got ultimate focus on what your priority in your life was. So you got ultimate focus. I want to take a minute and just we have so many people commenting on here, so I'll give you opportunity to take a break, take a drink. We've got Tracy Lamore, so honored to have been a part of Jimmy's life during this journey. Great interview. So Tracy, thank you for being here.
That's my sister and my publicist right there.
I saw the post earlier. She goes, that's not only my brother. Now he's my client.
And my sister, right? That's what I was just talking about. That's the woman and her husband, Dave Parkson, my brother, who helped save my life. They literally helped save my life by educating everybody in the world and spreading this story all over the world. She's a terrific, amazing. Her and her husband is terrific, amazing, beautiful people, and they're great publicists. Lamore Media, they are the truth, and I am forever indebted to them and all of my supporters, family, and friends for standing strong throughout this horrific ordeal.
Wow. Wow. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you. It's interesting. Tracy put you on blast here a little bit. She said, Jimmy did not share a lot of the terrible things that happened day to day while he was in prison with his family and friends. He did not want to worry us and wanted to keep us all focused on getting him home. Wow, Jimmy, if I haven't said this before, you are such a beautiful, beautiful soul. She says here, everyone would help if they knew they could, but people don't feel they have the power to help. Everybody's got the power to help. Peggy Wilms, who was just on my show Tuesday night. Thank you, Coach Peggy, for being here. She says, this is almost unbearable to comprehend. I've been sitting here and so up and down, pissed, happy, want to cry, pissed again. Absolutely. In thinking about the music, and by the way, I just got to correct you a little bit, Jimmy. You forgot the boss. I've been texting you. I've been messaging you about Bruce Springsteen. You forgot.
Didn't I say Glory Days?
He said Bruce Springsteen, Glory Days. It was I'm listening. I got a photographic memory. I listened.
Wait a minute. Time out. Flag on the play. That's my favorite. That's my favorite band of all time. Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. Ain't nothing like the boss, man.
Yep. You said Bruce, then you said Whitney Houston, then you said
apologies. I missed it because we've been messaging back and forth every time I hear him. Bruce sending him the screenshot, like, dude. And now I just can't think about Bruce Springsteen when I think about Jimmy Dennis.
I love Bruce, so this is good. Now I get
man.
So speaking of music, I want to take a little moment here. We're an hour and 19 minutes. Thank you guys for being here and sharing this. Share this out if this is impacting you. Please. We're gonna take a little moment. Jimmy's been talking about his music and how music has been so important in his life, and obviously, music has been massively important in my life. So, Jimmy, I want to play this song with your permission. I want to play Tears This Year. I want to play this song a little bit. I'm not gonna probably not play the whole thing in interest of
Okay.
time, but I want to go through this a little bit, and I want you to talk about the lyrics in this song and what it means. And I want to share the music with everybody out here because we were talking about a lot of heavy stuff. So I want to kind of lighten the mood a little bit and just talk about music, because we're going to go back to the heavy stuff a little bit, but I definitely want to share this music. So hopefully this will come through. So this is Tears This Year by Jimmy Dennis. You can find this on Spotify, iTunes. You just Google Jimmy Dennis music. You can hear this. So let's just take a listen of this song.
Is it coming, Chris?
Well, did you hear it? You can't hear it?
No, I'm watching your head move, and I'm assuming you're playing it. I can't hear it.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I figured that you were listening.
Can't hear it either.
Yeah, I was like, I'll keep waiting.
I thought the audience was hearing it.
I thought we were so. And I saw his head move, and I go, I think he's listening to something.
That's weird because you guys can always hear it. You can't hear it right now?
Cannot hear it.
No, I can't hear it either.
Check your mute, like double check.
But it's okay if the audience can hear it.
That is. It should be playing.
Yeah, triple check.
I love technology. I'm sitting there like I'm all jamming into this, digging this.
Yeah, I was looking at your face. I'm like, it looks like he's either listening to it or he's really prepping for it. Well, I wasn't sure.
No, I was like, all right, hang on one second.
You check.
I seen him nod, Scott, so I thought he had
it. What's crazy is it shows it's playing. Oh man, I'm like seriously upset.
We'll get it.
Well,
you play with it. I'm gonna chat with Jimmy for a minute. You take care of some technology.
Chat with Jimmy for a second.
Me and Jimmy doing some chatting. So, so I'm a Bruce guy. It was funny. That was a pretty diverse, group of bands. That was pretty awesome. Between Bruce, Whitney, you've got Fleetwood Mac. That was pretty solid. Like, what made those songs pop into your head?
I can't tell you why those songs popped in my head every day, but I can tell you once you listen to them, you understand my journey completely about faith and how my attitude to go forth and to prove my innocence and to fight through the pain and the ordeal that I was going through. And, Bruce is my favorite band. Stevie Wonder is a musical influence of mine. John Coltrane is my favorite jazz musician. And the Winans is my favorite, group, gospel group of all time. And I used to sing that song in concerts when I was before I was stolen away. But those songs played in my mind because when you really listen to them and delve deep into them, they tell you exactly what I was dealing with and going through in terms of faith, hope, despair, inspiration, trying to overcome, trying to hold on, trying to get through it, all of everything that I'm telling the audience tonight that I was dealing with. And if you listen to Christopher Cross Selling, you know what I mean? I wanted to be anywhere. I wanted to be anywhere but there. In glory days, I'm sitting back thinking about everything all the good times of me and my friends, everything that me and my group was, everything that was coming and happening. Because for us, we had a beautiful following in Philadelphia, and just the moments of my family and friends is what sustained me and getting back to my daughters and, trying to get back to that point of being free, being happy, so on and so forth.
I love the fact that you actually pulled songs that were, Glory Days is exactly what it is. It's in the past. So you're holding moments like, hey, we can do this again, but then you're pulling Sailing, which is literally like taking me in tomorrow. So you're finding a way. That was my question. My question was the whole idea of how do you ground yourself in the moment? And I love the fact that music should be something. So how do you guys listen to music in prison? I mean, I have no how would you find that? Like, how do you?
Right. So this interesting thing about that is, for me, those songs were in my head.
That's awesome.
They literally played in my head every day because the radio stations in the south of Pennsylvania were crap, right? And I literally would stay up just to hear Ramsey Lewis Jazz Channel, which only came on Sundays, or when I had a TV. I love music so much that I would watch a movie just to hear the music score. You know what I mean? So on and so forth. And somebody like Byron Allen, he had a video show, and he played one video at 5 o'clock in the morning, going into 6. And I would stay up just to see that one video. That's how much I love music, because we didn't have music. So all I had was my memories in my old record collection in my head. And every now and then you would get a channel, but they had taken it away, far as, you know, prison going, so on and so forth. So literally those songs were playing in my mind. Now, at the tail end of like 6-7 months before I came home, I was able to get a tablet, and my supporters purchased music, sent me money so I could purchase Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder, all the Whitney Houston music, all of the Boss music, and Nina Simone, and everybody I love. You can hear me blasting it early in the morning. And for some people, it was like Groundhog Day, but they wouldn't bother me because they knew what I was going through. Even when I knew I was coming home, when I really knew that moment was approaching, I believed, I can remember blasting another, you know, somebody else I love, Phil Collins, In the Air at Night. You know?
You seen the video, right? Did you see the video with those two? There was two kids in the inner city who heard it for the first time. You seen that? And they both go, "Damn!"
And listen,
it's solid.
as a kid, that was my expression too.
Yes, all of us. We're like, right? That's deep.
Yeah,
I love it.
Awesome. Well, technology is beautiful, so I'm going to play it from here. Apologize for that. That's weird because all the time my music plays through, and technology.
I was just going to tell you I'd do the same thing. I saw that you posted it. I was going to say, if it doesn't work, I'll do that.
Can you hear it?
I know this shit don't make no sense. I know we keep getting hit hard. We are wounded and we're full of scars. I know you're tired and you're barely holding on. You're lying, you can make it through the storm. In this life, we gon' go through phases. Different roads, different trials, different changes. Have our moments, disillusion, you can make it. Never give up. Never give in. We're gonna pull through somehow. We're gonna make it through right now. We're gonna make it through, no doubt. Our ancestors will be proud. We're gonna pull through somehow. We're gonna make it through right now. We're gonna make it through, no doubt. Our ancestors will be proud. I know we done shed a million tears. I know we can't believe this shit. Loved ones, call home. We be praying for you every day. As we stand in the throes of this, we gonna make it about this bitch. In this life, we gon' go through phases. Living, breathing, yes. You cannot sing it. Chase your dreams, grind, yes. You can make it. Never give up, don't give in. We gonna pull through somehow. We gonna make it through right now. We gonna make it through, no doubt. Our ancestors will be proud. We gonna pull through somehow. We gonna make it through right now. We gonna make it through, no doubt. Let's give it a few moments. Be silent.
So that's Tears This Year. Talk to us, Jimmy. Talk to us about the inspiration for those lyrics for that song. What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song.
Thank you, man.
We have messages coming in. Spectacular voice, #1 favorite. Jay is saying great song, great message.
Thank you, Jay.
This lady Barbara Rausch saying so good. Where can I buy his
Thank
music?
you, Barbara.
Yes,
Thank you.
Absolutely. Peggy saying beautiful, going
Thank you, Peggy.
to make it through, no doubt. I love it. I love it. I love it. So talk to us about that. Was that song you wrote before prison, while you were in prison?
No. I wrote that last year. Understanding and seeing that each and every one of us had an awful year last year. We in the middle of a pandemic. We all been affected by it. We never experienced something like this before. People are losing family members and loved ones each and every day. I've been touched by it, as I'm sure is people in your audience, and everybody's just trying to do their best. We have people that are hungry, unemployment rate sky high. We never been in anything like this in our lifetime. And I just wanted to offer each and every person around the world and in this country a beacon of hope to say, listen, we're going to get through this, because every single person in America and around the world, we are a resilient group of people. We are a beautiful race of people. And every single time that you think that you can't get through something, you actually can, right? And we are going to be better for this time that we're going through now. And I wanted to write an inspirational song. I wanted to write something that would speak to everybody, all religions, all faiths, all people, speak to everybody on the front line, from the nurses to the sanitation workers, so on and so forth, to everybody trying to provide and feed their families. We all going through it, but we all in it together. And if we could just be a little kind to one another and just love each other a little more. And I wanted to let everybody know, listen, this is the very time that all of us really need to take stock. Love your family a little bit more. Get closer to your family. Whatever your goals is, read about it, learn about it, take charge of it. Turn your living room into a workout center. Turn your living room into a club. Be happy, be joyous, so on and so forth. So I wanted to offer that for people, because people are dealing with mental health illness behind it, suicide, depression, so on and so forth. So I wanted to speak to all that, and that's what the song is about. And because last year, for nothing, it was just a horrible year. With everything that everybody's seen, with everything that everybody lost, it was just a horrible year. You know what I mean? Period. And this year ain't starting off to be no better, but I'm telling you, we're going to get through it, and we're going to be better for it. Period. Always remember, no matter what we go through, we always must keep infinite hope of tomorrow, because the sun is always going to shine tomorrow. And that always brings promise of a new day.
So I want people to just see something right now, okay? A few years back, not too long back, Jimmy Dennis is in prison, and he's singing songs out of his own head. And now he's writing beautiful music, and he's actually healing his ancestors, and says it in his song. He's saying that my ancestors will be proud. And so here's a beautiful thing right now. Okay. We're all a product of our own DNA. So everything that's happened, your dad, your dad's dad, grandma, great grandma, all the suffering and everything they went through to get to this point, and including your suffering, you're literally taking ownership to say, look at me now. I'm healing us all from here and in the past and in the future. And that's it right there. That's it. Everything you're doing in this moment to say, because we can sit here right now, we can make this whole show about, holy crap, this is the most miserable thing that ever happened. but you're realizing in this music, I'm listening to that. I mean, honestly, when you just said club, let's go make the living room a club. Let's drink some drinks and let's listen to that song. I mean, I'm all in, dude. I mean, I loved it. But that's the thing. We have experiences. They're, you know, we can judge them good, bad, whatever, and some seem horrific. But this moment right now is everything. And what you're doing, and you're making this music, I want everyone just to take a stand right now to enjoy their life and simultaneously step up, be accountable, have some fun, enjoy this world, but let's share this world with everybody. I mean, your song said it beautifully, and I'm sure the rest of it. Now I'm going to have to go listen to the rest and share this with everybody we know because I love it.
I appreciate that. Listen, man, listen, each and every one of us has ancestors. Each and every one of us have people we want to make proud, whether it's your dad, your mom, or your son, or whatever. And, you know, chasing your dreams or just enjoying the taste of life. Life is this beautiful thing, right? And we're here for this short period of time. You know, this morning I woke up to a devastating loss for a lot of people in my community and friends that I know, and a beautiful woman, beautiful light of a woman by the name of Coco Chanel. She lost her battle with cancer. But every single time I seen her, she was smiling. She was a beautiful light to everybody around her, right? And it's a sad day, you know what I mean? But I'm telling you, this woman radiated love all the time, you know what I mean? And all her pictures, and every time she greeted somebody, every time I seen her, she hugged me, smiling, talking, everybody. She just was a beautiful, loving person. And so we should take something from that, and everybody, you know, should love life and try to love on their family a little more. We see what's going on in this country. We see how many people we done lost through this pandemic. Shouldn't that make you want to love your family even harder, to tell everybody that you love them? There's not a single person in my life that don't know that I don't love them and I don't care about them, right? I tell them all the time. I tell people that don't even want to hear, you know, because
That's me, dude.
A lot of my friends, they just, you know, they real macho, but I tell them that I love them even when they don't want to hear it. And now I got them saying it back, because I don't never want them to not hear that from me, you know, if anything happened to me or to happen to them. So all I'm saying is let's all try to be the light that we want to see in the world. Let's all try to make it a better place in our own way, just like y'all two are doing, right? Y'all literally are trying to make the world a better place by sharing love, by sharing positivity, by sharing inspiration, right? And if we all can do just a little bit of that, I guarantee you the world is starting to take shape in a beautiful, different way.
I love you, Jimmy Dennis. I love you,
thank you,
Rausch.
Scott.
I love you, Jimmy Dennis.
Love you, brother.
So I come from the same kind of family where, you know, it's not that like my grandfather's a guy's guy, you know, you can't can't hug him or stuff like that. You know, he's gone now, but before, when he was older and he really couldn't defend himself against me, I'd look him in the eye, I go, I love you. And I give him these big hugs, and he's like, ah, and he loved it. It was really confusing, but I was not going to let that guy leave this world without hearing he was loved by his grandson and forcing him to get hugged. So let's bring more of that. I get it's COVID, but after COVID, let's just run around our neighborhoods and just start hugging people.
I tell you, man, the other thing that I be doing, man, when I'm on the internet, I just be loving and liking, you know, almost everything. I'm always saying happy birthday, or always being encouraging, right? You know, because we got enough negativity in the world. Listen, it literally takes nothing to sit behind a computer and be mean. What's that about? You know what I mean? That's nothing. But to actually try to radiate positivity and put some positive energy into the world. You know, listen, when I came home, I couldn't understand how no talented people were extremely successful for being me, right? And it still doesn't make any sense to me, right? But that's the new thing, right? But the real cool thing should be to radiate positivity and to spread love through the world and not hate. Because that's easy nowadays. All you got to do is click and then say something cruel. Anybody can do that. And basically, what that is that's a coward move. Because your life is miserable, so you want to inflict pain on somebody else. Yeah. Nothing that's said tonight has been about anything negative towards anybody, right? All I done went through, right? I'm just telling you that I want justice for every single innocent person in this country, and to stop allowing things like this to happen, because one day it's going to land on your doorstep. It's going to be your best friend, your daughter, your brother, your son, your cousin, your husband, your wife, or your loved one, if we don't get a hold of this and try to make the justice system better for everybody.
Bam, bam, bam. Jesus. I mean, wow, Jimmy, you are an anomaly. I mean, I just love your heart and soul. Just to let you guys know out there, in all the time I've been conversating with you, Jimmy, even since the beginning of last year when we were first introduced, you're constantly like, hey, how's your wife and how's your son doing? How's everybody doing? I'm always asking, hey, how's your mom doing? What's going on? You're a beautiful soul, a beautiful light. And I love that you pick up on that. I love that you pick up on that. And the fact that, yes, it's easy to be negative and it's easy to be cynical and it's easy to be angry and resentful and hold animosity. But it's like, it's the phrase, and it's so funny because I've heard it so many times in the last couple of weeks. Is like, it's like drinking poison, expecting somebody else to die. You know, we're all pissed off and all frustrated, and we go out there and we go, and everybody just goes, that person's that person's psychotic.
Right.
But like Scott and I, we've been through some shit, not nearly what you have, but we take that and we make our trash as our treasure. And for me, I looked at it this way years ago, and I tattooed it on my arm. It says, what doesn't kill me only makes me stronger.
Yeah.
So using that message and using that light, I love that you bring that to everybody. I want to catch up on a couple of comments. Then I have a question for you that's important as well. Esme says the sun will shine. Awesome. I'm so proud of you. She says you are an inspiration.
Thank you.
And I just met
Esme so much.
I think I just met Esme last night. I think it was last night on Clubhouse, and she has an amazing story. She was going through some stuff, and I invited her here to participate here in this conversation, just to show what the power of showing up and conversating. She didn't want to really come up on stage and talk. She came up there. She shared her brilliance. So thank you for being with us. Same with Kellen Ann. She was up there. She was actually pouring into people. So inspiring show, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Patricia. She says, Jimmy, you are a gift to all of us. Love. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And
thank you so much.
Truth. We're just going to love on you for a second. Reminder. They not only wanted to kill this man, but he lived through execution dates. Oh my Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
They locked this man in a cage for 25 years. I mean, an Angel is an angel. Thank you for being here, Angel. She says the world needs love, and you radiate it very well. Bam, bam,
Thank
bam.
You, Angel. Thank you.
And thinking about the positivity of the message, that one thing that Scott and I are really passionate about is the fact that our youth, mentoring at-risk kids. Scott has Go Love Now program going into schools and teaching teachers and kids about the power of love and forgiveness and empathy and shining your own light. What message do you have for the youth of today? You know, I'm seeing some promising aspects of the youth today in the conversations that Scott and I had last year about Black Lives Matter and about the George Floyd situation that was the murder that happened. Let's just be honest. What advice, what would you say to the youth of America right now, especially the inner city kids, the Black kids, the Hispanic kids that are fighting, that are experiencing the same racism and the same profiling that you went through? What's your message to them to keep them on the right side of the tracks as opposed to becoming cynical and thinking that everything's bad and negative?
So I want to speak to two things. First of all, I love the youth, right? I love each and every one of them. And I really want to say, anytime you get elders saying negative things about the movement, stop listening to that trash, right? Continue to move in a positive way, because none of them are on the front line doing anything. So don't listen to that garbage. That's number one, right? And and I can speak directly to whoever and all that too, right? Because a lot of them are just full of bull crap. So y'all keep pressing on, keep pushing, doing what y'all doing, keep being positive, keep trying to bring positive change. You're doing a phenomenal job. And as far as people in the inner city, sometimes there's going to be people that police our community. They're going to have the wrong intentions. What you cannot do, no matter what, is allow them to put you in the system. And if they put you in the system, to destroy your faith and ability to create, to dream, and to conquer. Because the world is before you, and any of your dreams can come true. If you want to be a lawyer, you could be a lawyer. You want to be an architect, you can be an architect. No matter what your dream is, you can be it. No matter what has befallen you before, even if you've been in jail, you could get out. You could be the next Judge Mathis, right? You could be successful. You could be the next Charles Dalton. There are plenty of examples that you have, that you can be, where you can come from the ground up and be successful in this life. So don't allow them to take away your joy and to take away your dreams, because ultimately you have to understand, prison is designed to break every single person. They had me all the way out south, Western Pennsylvania, right? My dad couldn't afford, my family couldn't afford to come see me like that, but my dad would make it up there every month. And it's too high for every single family to do so. And just so you can know, if you read a book by Michelle Alexander called The New Jim Crow, she speaks about the prison I was at SEI Green. That was a deserted town. Cactus was growing up in there, right? And then when they dropped that prison in there, it became a bustling community. Walmart, Bob Big Boys, Motel 6, da-da-da-da-da. Next thing you know, all the guards are coming with cars. Before, they were driving in one truck, one pickup or two pickup trucks, all piled in there. Next thing you know, woof. Prison is hundreds of billions of dollar business every single year.
And you saw what Biden just did to put the stop to that. Finally.
That was a good start.
To start. And it's just
that was a good start. But we got to understand that Black lives are still being traded on Wall Street, on the New York Stock Exchange right now, prisons, right? There are plenty. Listen to this real quick.
Explain that a little bit, yeah.
Let's say I'm your best friend, Chris, and you want to send me a 19-inch TV in prison from Best Buy. You can't do it. I have to buy it from the commissary. Even though you send it directly from the store, they gonna open it and go through it? No, you gotta buy it from the commissary. Why? Because you're gonna get that 19-inch from Best Buy for $75. The prison commissary is selling a monitor for a computer masquerading as a TV for $285 plus tax. This is a business, and they make money off of people in prison. Understand that. If you want to read a book, read Michelle Alexander, The New Jim Crow. Watch the documentary by Ava DuVernay called The 13th on Netflix.
Yep.
And if you want to see and understand the bigotry and racism and the hate of Philadelphia, read everything about me, and then watch a documentary on HBO Cinemax 40 years a prisoner about Move. And you will see that Frank Rizzo, who was a evil person and in charge of the police in Philadelphia, which these same police officers come from that era, was the same ones that abused me, Anthony Wright, Chester Hoffman, and many other men like William Niaz, so on and so forth, and Ralph Stokes and Anthony Reed, and many people still in prison to this day. That's the stock it comes from, the Frank Rizzo stock, right? Understand that.
It's insane. It's literally
I just had
insane.
to pause on that for a second, because I'm just continually blown away by, what many of us don't even know. So thank you for sharing that. Well, I want to take a moment. What time has just gotten past us? I mean, we're already almost been talking for 2 hours, and I want to respect your time, Jimmy. What song would you like us to play a little bit of next? I have my preference, but given the fact
what's your preference? What's your preference?
Do you have any mixes with Bruce Springsteen? Do you have some Glory Days with a little bit of R&B blended in? Because I'll take that.
Nah, we ain't got that, but y'all can play y'all can play Hate the Skin I'm In, or All You Went and Did It.
That's the one I was thinking about.
Y'all can play Hate the Skin I'm In, because that's a very deep song, and it speaks to the division in the country. And I wrote that song about for all the lives that have been lost over the years, and all the division in the country, like Breonna Taylor, like the young man in Denver, Colorado, the young man McClain that was killed by Denver, Colorado police, and Michael Brown and Tamir Rice and so many others, and just everything, George Floyd, and everything that was going on within the country within these past years. That's why I wrote it. That song, Hate the Skin I'm In.
And actually, if you remember, Chris, our good friend Wallace Johnson actually wrote some poetry. It's a book called 2020 Division. He has one of his poems, I think, is literally the same, if not the same title, very close to that. And I bet essentially we're going to have like a few more shows, because we have other friends that we all have to bring together, and they're going to be phenomenal shows, because you guys got to meet everybody. We got to get everybody together. So
yeah,
we're creating a movement. We're creating a movement.
Yeah.
All right, so let's,
the young man named in Denver, Colorado, Edwin McCain, I believe. His name is, sorry if I messed up his name, that the Denver, Colorado police brutally murdered. Yeah. Turned off the cameras. Turn off the camera. Y'all all see it on the internet, so y'all know what it is. So I want to speak to that.
All right, well, let's listen to a little bit of Hate the Skin I'm In, because Jimmy, that's the exact song I was thinking about. So I just want to make sure you're cool with it. But
yeah,
let's hear some of this.
Play what you want, Chris. I'm cool with it.
So, oops.
I'm one of the people who built the country. Until this moment, there is scarcely any hope for the American dream, because the people who are denied participation in it, by their very presence, will wreck it.
You wish to stay in a Cro-Magnon state. Change disarms you of your privilege. You fear me even when I don't seek to harm you. Cause you hate the skin I'm in. Hate the skin I'm in. You hate my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful black skin. 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 Don't wanna move the needle. You'd rather keep us in this place. Yeah. Systematic change. No more praying, begging, pleading, I'm telling you. Cause you ain't scared of me.
Wow, Jimmy, yet another beautiful song, beautiful lyrics,
thank you, man.
beautiful message. So I'm gonna let's see. We got this comment.
He wants you to sing
something for us. How about if we sing with you? We'll sing with you. R&B,
What we singing?
That beautiful.
Yeah, you sing that. Fucking Casper.
Come on, man.
Whitest guy I know.
That hurts.
No, you know what, Jimmy. You know, with our time left, because I know you're in pain. I know you got a lot of things going on. Really, most important question I kind of want to end with is, what's next for you? I mean, Scott and I talk about this all the time. Whatever's in the past is in the past, and obviously your past is a catapult for the future. What do you got in the works? What can we all do to support you in your music? Obviously, we're going to share. We're going to make sure people are buying it. And but what's going on for Jimmy in the next couple of months, next couple of years? How can we support you?
More music is coming. May 13th, I'm going to release more music. In the next few months, I'm going to release more music, so you can check for that right now. I'm doing a lot of talking with different entities. I'll say that, about different things in the work, life story, so on and so forth. Right now, there's an article out in Philadelphia Magazine. There's a feature story on me in the music in Philadelphia Magazine, the January, February issue of Philadelphia Magazine, written by Queen Muse, wonderful writer, Philadelphia Magazine, and just gonna put out more music. I'm gonna keep advocating for the innocent, and next time I come on, I'll sing something for Jay, I promise.
Do we get to be the backup dancers?
Yes,
because I got an outfit for that, and I'm not afraid to wear it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Make sure your skirt's longer this time. I don't want to see any.
All right.
He went to bed over to pick up his keys, and it was, I'm scarred for life. No, I'm just kidding.
It was my mouse. I dropped my mouse.
You dropped your mouse. Wow, Jimmy. We're just so thankful, so proud, so blessed. We're so appreciative to Patricia for introducing us to you. We're so
indeed. Thank you.
All you amazing people, Tracy, all the people in your life, and your family, and just homage to your family and what they have been through, what they've endured, what you guys are going through now. Scott and I, now we are your brothers. So anything you have going on in your life, you
appreciate that, man.
You have our numbers, get Scott's number, anything that's going on, what we could do to help you. We want to definitely have you back on the show when your album
Thank you so much.
And being
appreciate
able to
that.
Oh, no, you don't have to. No, we're cool, man. We're family. Like we said, we're all family. And, I personally want to continue the commitment that Scott and I made last year to do more with our voices and our platform to inspire these conversations. So, Jimmy, if you know other people that have gone through this experience that would like to share their story, have a safe place to share their story, we invite you to share that with them. And
I certainly will.
And anything you have going on, as you're advocating or something comes up and you have a message to share, you always have a home with us to be able to do it here on the Unfiltered Experience.
Oh, thank you, man.
That's what we bring. That's
thank
what we
you.
love. Any final words, any messages that you would like to share with the world right now?
Just everybody keep the faith in this time of COVID, and stay diligent and stay safe, and stay prayerful and keep the faith. And no matter what your dream is, run after your dream, chase it with reckless abandonment. Peace and love, everybody. The audience has been wonderful, and thank you for having me. I really appreciate everyone for being here tonight. Thank you so much.
No problem. No problem. Is this what, as far as connecting with you, where's the best place to connect with you? I've got your Facebook.
Everybody can go to my
music.
Instagram. Everybody can go to Jimmy Dennis Music, my Instagram, Facebook. Everybody can go to my Jimmy Dennis Music group. You can always get new information there on what's going on with me and so on and so forth. You know, and everybody can give a listen to the music. Tears This Year, Hate the Skin I'm In featuring Gwen Jackson. All You Done Went and Did It, You Said, are all on Spotify, iTunes, Pandora, Deezer, Amazon Music, Apple Music. I'm everywhere, anywhere music is sold and streamed. Share with your friends. If you like the music, let me know you like it.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. Awesome. Well, we're going to make sure those links are in the comments to the show. And just for your benefit, Jimmy, what we usually do after the show is we go back and we interface with all you beautiful people who have left us comments. So I think it would be great if you have an opportunity, maybe tomorrow, sometime this weekend, to interact with some of these beautiful people.
I will definitely. Just let me know what time I'm there, and I will interact with everybody.
Jump in. They're in there. They're already in there. You can jump in whenever you roll out of bed after you have your coffee. They're there for you.
Jay said he played guitar, so it's on now, Jay.
He promised. It's on. It's on. He promised.
Yep. Jay's going to play guitar. Scott's going to play Congo drums.
I'm going to dance. Remember, backup dancer in a skirt.
No, Jay. No.
No. All right. I'll do something different then.
Hey, you gonna play the Cougars?
I can do drums. I can do some drums. I got a djembe drum. I got a djembe drum out there, and I got a shaman drum that I made, so I can play that in a skirt.
There you go.
I'll be your backup singer and your MC. I'll be your. He says, just give me the key. The key to what? The key to the city. What do you want? Esme says, thank you for sharing your story. Great show tonight. Great interview. Angel says, hey, Jimmy, keep the positivity. Keep soaring. Have a great evening, Christopher, Rausch, Scott Goyette, Jimmy, and everyone else.
Thank you so much, Angel.
Thank you for being here. Patricia, we love you.
Thank you, Patricia. Love you.
You're such an amazing soul. We love you so much.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
Scott and Chris for such an incredible interview with the most amazing man. Praise and love you, Jimmy. Yes. This is not the last of the conversation with you, Jimmy. So hang on one sec. We're going to put you backstage. We're going to close out the show a little bit.
Okay, cool.
Well, actually, Jay,
thank you, everyone.
What key do you sing in?
Damn near all of them.
Nice. Hey, we got violin. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it. Take a violinist.
I think that'd be beautiful. We'll do a one-off unfiltered crew, and we'll just have music. You know, we got Ty Sweet.
We have like my brain's spinning. There's so many people we have to introduce to each other. We'll talk in a few minutes because there's so much good stuff going on here.
I just got an idea. I just got an idea, Scott. Yeah. Raising awareness. I got an idea. Perfect. This will be great. Carol, thank you. Oh, Carol Goyette. What? Oh, the positivity blessings. Nice.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you, Carol.
We got the whole Goyette family here. Where's mom? Where's mom at? Mom didn't show up.
She's not here. She's in trouble.
Susan Hamill, where are you? Man.
We're gonna have to talk to her. She's in trouble.
All right, brother Jimmy, hang on one sec. We're gonna say goodbye to you backstage, but don't go anywhere. Holy shit, Scott. Wow, 2 hours and 3 minutes. Man, I could sit there. I literally have
3 more hours easy. Yeah,
I mean, wow. Such amazing. What are your thoughts on this whole 2 hours? And I can almost predict your comments, but I would love to hear them from your heart and soul because I know you care about the messages that we send here and what Jimmy's message is. So I would love to hear your thoughts on this.
So here's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that I would assume a lot of us are saying right now, how does he come out of 25 years and still have that positivity? We heard some real deep honesty from him. He said the last 2 weeks have been kind of insane. So imagine what he's really going through before he comes out here and gives us, the positivity that he wants to share. He's a human being. Jimmy's a human being. He struggled. He went through some literal hell. I mean, he gave us little tidbits, but like his own sister said, he wasn't given every single bit because he didn't want us to struggle. So here's what I want everybody to hear. I want us to sit and think right now that he's bringing this positivity and he's being the beacon of light for us to follow. but we've got to take accountability for our own individual complicitness and what actually collectively led him into prison. So here's what I would ask of everybody who's listening to this right now. What one action can you take to make sure that injustices at this level never happen at the micro level, so that we don't get to a system that's this bad? Because it is this bad, and we don't want to change it in increments. We want to change it in full right now. So take action steps. Jimmy Dennis is such a beautiful spirit. And when you look at him, you see yourself. You see the beautifulness in your own spirit. So let's bring that out of all of us. Allow him to be that beacon. Buy his music. Listen to his music. Be like Jimmy. That's all I want.
Ooh, I love that. Hashtag be like Jimmy.
Be like Jimmy.
Yeah. So many opportunities. So many opportunities. I see him smiling backstage. He's like, oh, don't you even. Don't you even. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I can agree with you more, Scott. And I'm so glad to be on this journey with you and raising awareness and using our voices, using our platform, using our privilege, you know, using everything that we have in our opportunity to make the world a better place. And especially for those, especially in need of us to be a partner with them, So for me, Scott, it's, getting to know Jimmy and seeing the heart and soul of somebody who has endured, survived, has, done all the things that he has done, that he probably didn't share half of what was going on. And especially, what he's got going on currently, which is something I want to talk to him privately about and see what we could do. But it's truly incredible and so inspiring that you can go through that hell, that torture. Absolute torture. It crushes my soul to think about him having a 3-year-old daughter and not having that opportunity to spend that life with her. So for my message for everybody is obviously to echo what you said as well, Scott, because that's what we're here for, to do. And to echo what Jimmy said, we can all easily be mean and angry and resentful and hold negative space for people because of what they did to us and everything else. But in the grand scheme of things, I have personally seen people do that. I've seen them start in their 20s, and now that I'm nearly 52, and I've seen how they've carried it through their years, and I've seen how it's worn on their soul and everything else. And people ask me, like, why are you so positive, and why do you try to use everything for good, and aren't you ever pissed off? And I'm like, of course I'm always pissed off, of course. But the point of the journey is that we're all here every single day to grow and to learn, and not to be the same person we were yesterday, and to see how we can shift our perspectives to be more a part of the solution, and not to be selfish, and to take those risks and to stand up and fight for what's right and what's fair. I know that's in my eulogy, to fight for what's right and what's fair, to risk for what's that mattered. All of you guys out there listening to this message, please, 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 when you wake up tomorrow, when you go to bed tonight, make a decision. Make a conscious decision that when you wake up tomorrow, you're going to be the light. You're going to be love. It's not going to be easy, but look for ways and opportunities to make somebody's life a little bit better. Make your family's life a little bit better. Say hello. Listen to what stories they have going on. Play games with them. Go out in your community and see what you could do. There's a lot of people right now who are hurting, the homeless. And there's so many different opportunities out there for us to make a difference and shine our light and get past all the rhetoric and all the bullshit that just ultimately divides us and does absolutely nothing to unite us, does absolutely nothing to make the world a better place. So my goal and my inspiration for all of you guys watching this and listening tonight is that it's something like Jimmy said, that when we look back in the history books, 40 years from now, and our kids are learning and studying, I want them to look back on 2020 and 2021 and go, holy shit, those guys disrupted what was not working, that had never been fully changed, and those guys got to business. And now we live in this world where there is equality, there's opportunities for everybody. You're not judged by the skin color, you're not judged by your sexual preference, you're not judged by anything else that we put labels on to say that something's different than who we are. We're all drops of water from the same puddle of water, the same ocean, right? So when we start seeing each other that way, we don't see each other for the containers that we're in, we see each other for the souls that we're in. I believe we can make this world a much better place, and we can all be happier and healthier for being here and sharing our message. So those are my thoughts, Scott. Any closing thoughts before we end this out and go backstage and talk to Jimmy for a little bit?
Hashtag be like Jimmy.
Hashtag be like Jimmy. I love it. Final thoughts. I just want to go through this list really, really super quick because you all are amazing. Being here, spending those 2 hours with us. Teresa, Patricia, Craig, Kellen, Danielle, Colleen, Teresa Adams, Hennessy, Esme, Peggy Wilms, Jay, love you, Jay. Barbara, I love you, baby. Thank you for your support. Of course, Tracy Lamori, connect with them. Absolutely just a beautiful, beautiful showing of support and love. So we thank you guys all. You guys are our Unfiltered crew. Be sure to tune in next Friday night. We're going to shift up the beat a little bit. We have the amazing Forbes Riley. If you don't know who Forbes Riley is, go Google her. She's an amazing inspiration. She's a bundle of energy. She's going to come on here and help us grow our mindset to be absolutely unstoppable. I've gotten the opportunity to get to know her over the last week or so, and man, she's got a heart of gold, and she's got a passion that just won't quit. So we're excited for you guys to enjoy that conversation. But please, in the meantime, go support Jimmy, go buy his music, get involved, and be a part of the solution. We love you guys, and have a great weekend. And we'll see you next week. The Unfiltered crew.
Unfiltered crew.